Hey, Mr. McLaren here. So I want to show other teachers how I like to do recording of videos. I've seen there's a lot of programs that will do this for you, but then you can't do a lot of editing with it afterwards. And they also are really restrictive in how you can record. And I want to give you some more options basically and show you a completely free way of doing this because is also something that bothers me is sometimes people are paying a lot of money for these programs where it's like there's free alternatives that work very well, but they take a little bit of time to set up. So you can get the effect that I'm doing right now, and you can do things like this where you can like kind of like move yourself around like that as needed. You can change your size, um, all kinds of stuff. And then you can do all kinds of post processing. I'll probably put in some effects here at this point to kind of show it off. But there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do if you work with open source software. So there's a couple different programs I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using OBS, GIMP, and Shotcut. This PowerPoint I'll also have linked, and all these links in the description for the YouTube video that I'm going to post. So I'm going to kind of go through all of this and then the editing as well and Shotcut, and then I'll show you how I post on YouTube. That's the general idea. I might have to do a little bit of editing, but I can do that now, so it's great. So I'll go ahead and get started with this, yeah? So how to record. The recording program that I'm using is OBS. So you can download that here. It's open broadcaster software. Really, really good program. This is what mine looks like. Sorry. This is what mine looks like. I record having a second monitor, so I have this on my second monitor, and then I can bring this to my first. So this is basically my go-to for my settings. It looks a little bit differently than yours might be because you can click and move some of these things in OBS. So I think the scenes I might have like moved up here somewhere just because it takes up a little bit less space. But you basically have these little tabs. You can move things around on the screen here. That's like how I was like moving myself around there. Um, you can add in different elements to the screen as well as auditory. You can add in things. On the bottom here, you can see that I'm kind of talking, and I've got my mic set up so I'm like in this yellow range. Like red's a little too loud, green is a little too quiet. So I've kind of like tweaked my audio to be just how I like it. I've tweaked, as you can see, my video to be a little bit weird. It's kind of like I go off over here and my arm disappears, right? So you might be wondering what's going on there. It's basically I've got some lighting issues in my apartment, and I tried to do some magic to get rid of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new scene from scratch and show you how we set this up, okay? I'm just gonna stop this, and then I could actually just click, and then when I unclick it, it starts back up, or I could just stop it and then put that clip to the other clips when I'm done. It doesn't really matter. All right, so if we're looking at OBS here, you're probably starting with no scenes, nothing in your sources, and nothing in your audio mix. I'm going to create a new scene here. So for anything, so this will be example for tutorial. That will be the scene you started to kind of make one here. Okay, so this is where things are going to be kind of weird because you can hear me here, but if I try and go to that, you're going to lose audio and visual for a second. So just let me get the video back up and the audio. It'll take just a little bit of time. I'll get the video up first so you can kind of see that though. Okay, so you can hear me now. So this is my Yeti right now. Um, I've got my display, which is my main camera, or for my monitor. Then I can add in video capture device. Now I could use the existing right here, which is what I've been using up to this point. You can't really see the effect so much on the actual recording. Like usually it's pretty minimal effect. Like if you look here, it's not that bad. but here I'm noticing it a little bit more. In any case, you can add in these different things. I'm going to show you how to add into filters. This is all you really need is a display capture, your own audio, and your own video. Though if you want to be able to get not input, it's output that we want. If you want to get just like the regular output from your computer, the default should be fine. I don't think I got any filters on this. So yeah, this is the basic setup that you're gonna want. And I didn't apply filters, and you could just do like this without filters and you'd be able to do some recordings, though I would listen to it and I would watch it because you might want to apply some of these filters. Now I've linked videos that go in a lot more detail into this.
Can you hear that? If you listen closely, you should be able to hear some chirping in the background because it appears I have...
So I've linked this video and it goes into this really in detail, but I'm going to just give you the general overview, and if you're curious, I would highly recommend checking that out for more information. But basically, if you go to your microphone, I've got my Yeti right here. I'll just show you the properties or the filters that I've got on it right now. And I'll kind of talk you through what these things are. Again, I'm not professionally doing this. I'm just some teacher. But the idea is that this makes your audio just a little bit cleaner. It gets rid of like fans and other things. I don't think you're gonna hear too much in my space right now because I haven't got any fans on. But if you got like windows or like even dogs or like loud neighbors, oh my gosh, this is amazing to have. Or kids. So basically, if I go to let's go to, I think it's input. Yeah. So if I go to creating a new example audio here, you can select the device. I'm going to be using my Yeti. You can go by default. The Yeti is my microphone that's right here. You can kind of see it a little bit. I've also got ones in my headphone. But we're going to go with just the Yeti here. Okay. But you can hear probably, I'm just going to turn this off now. So you can see with this, there's a little bit of background noise, right? You might be able to even hear it if you listen carefully. But if you get the filters, nothing normally, right? So these filters, I'm gonna turn off the other one for a second and just kind of show you these, because I've got a lot of them. I've got noise suppression. This just basically means anything underneath 35 decibels doesn't turn on your microphone. So if this is on, it won't get triggered by little sounds. Or it makes them quieter. Yeah, the noise suppression makes them quieter. The noise gate is what actually stops them from coming in. See, that noise gate like makes it totally quiet. Now you can play around with a lot of the settings on these. And you can add them in right here. So if you go to noise suppression, you can add that in. Sure, let's make that noise suppression 2. And then you can just kind of tweak it as needed. I'm gonna get rid of that though, because we don't really need it. So this is the sound settings that I've got. Again, you might want to make it so that your threshold's a little bit higher if there's more background noise. There's also compressors that I've got on here to make my loud points a little bit less loud, because if I don't have those on, I can pop out pretty easily with the audio. Like if I'm talking pretty loud, it's kind of hard here, but like you can kind of hear it gets a little bit rough when it gets up into that red. So this just keeps it more in the yellow. And then this is just boosting it just ever so slightly. I think I was using that to just kind of tweak if other things were louder than me. So yeah, let's get rid of that example audio. We don't really need that anymore. Let's see. Sample audio. So we showed you those audio filters. Now we're gonna show you the free green screen effect. Okay, so there's kind of this weird thing that you can do with GIMP that allows you to make your own green screen. I'm gonna show that off first, but you can skip that. If you already have a green screen, you can skip ahead to the actual green screen. I'll probably have like chapters or something in the YouTube with those labels on there. All right, so for this part, we're gonna talk about how to make the camera using the filters to make that a little bit better using GIMP. So if I look at this camera and we look at the filters, if I turn off the filters, I get the green screen behind me. If I've got this filter, it kind of removes part of the screen, right? So I can use that to kind of cut around myself and then make the rest of it green screen. So if I don't have a green screen, I can still get the effective one. It's not perfect, but it's close. And I'll show you how to do that. And then this second part is so easy. The chroma key, oh my gosh, it's crazy easy. So we'll start with the image mask blend. So to start that off, what we're gonna want is to just capture something with the right aspect ratio for your camera. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm gonna use Snip. You can use like any sort of program to get this image. So I'm just gonna do new and get that aspect ratio right. Again, it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. It just needs to be close. So that should be in my clipboard now. So you just need to get this image. You can get this image a number of ways, but I think the easiest way is to use the snipping tool if you're using Windows 10. There's other ways to do that on like other computers as well, but I think that this is all really aimed at Windows 10, this tutorial. So if we go to GIMP here, I just want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing still currently. No, you're not, so I should probably do that. Okay. And I'll show you with my camera in the corner, so when you see it actually get applied, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so what we have here with the GIMP program, if I do Control V, it'll post my image. Now this is a layer in the GIMP program. What we want to do is add another layer and work on that. So if we go to layer, add new layer, make sure it's filled with transparency. This is going to be what we really want because we want our image to basically be invisible in the background or transparent in the background. So on this layer, making sure you're on this layer, get your brush here and kind of just trace around yourself. Maybe give yourself a little extra room because realistically you're probably going to be moving during calls and videos a little bit. You can also just make this brush a little bit bigger just to speed that up a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to be close to your shape plus a little bit to give you a little bit of wiggle room. So I've got that kind of cut out. And now I want to click on my original layer and just delete that. This new image, this is the only part of the image the camera is going to look at. The rest of it should be invisible. So let's go with example green, and we're going to export that to actually make the real image. Okay, it should be exported. And if I go back to OBS, I can go to my camera and be like, hey, can I get a filter? And that filter, can I have it be an image mask blend? Sure. And I think, what did we call it? I think it was green screen example. Is that what we called it? Example green. Okay. Okay, I don't know exactly what was going on there, but I changed this to alpha channel and it looks like it's all in the right color and everything. So when I apply that, yes, that applies correctly. So you can see you can do this pretty good, but then your hands kind of get cut off. So it's a pretty good effect. You can do it completely free, and then you can do all kinds of things like you can adjust this as needed to make it closer or further from you. So yeah, that's a workaround that you can do with that. Um, Again, I prefer to have the green screen, and the green screen's super easy to do. You can do what I did there, but with like, I think the image that I used for this one basically just had this area being the transparency, and everything else was black. Kind of like how for that one, how I had this be the black. For this one, the black images was like that, essentially. For the green screen, it's super easy. You just go to chroma key and make it be the green screen. You can adjust this as needed. Actually, I might want to adjust mine a little bit just to make this a little bit more kind of faded out. Oh, hold on. It would help if I had that effect on, right? So I can go, oh, look, there's the green, and then I can get rid of the green. Okay, now I'm disappeared. I think that it was something like that. Let's just go back to the default. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, with that getting cut out, it works pretty well to make it so that I'm essentially having a full green screen, even with like not ideal lighting. So that's how you essentially get it so that you're able to record and have this all set up as needed. You can also make this smaller or bigger, or you can put up certain images that you want to keep up. So if you want to go through like a PowerPoint but keep up a certain image to refer to, or something like that, you could do that. Or if you're trying to keep something on the screen to keep track of something during like a game that you're trying to keep track of something that you're doing, like an interactive game on a website. There's a number of things that you could use it for. So why don't we go ahead and switch gears from OBS now, because we've kind of gone over the green screen and everything. So if we look back at our tutorial here, that was the OBS video, by the way, that I've got linked, the free green screen. And I just kind of talked about that. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to Shotcut. So Shotcut, this is a really nice program. It's also open source. Again, I've got that linked right here to get you the, sorry, to get the download. So this is the Shotcut program. This looks pretty much like what it looks like by default. Basically, you upload your recordings here, and then you can combine things visually a little bit differently. Let me just kind of make sure that I can actually see you all and you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, cool. All right. So for this program, basically what you have is you have a file that you can open. So wherever you've been recording OBS files to, so I think for me it's just going to videos, and you can check where OBS is sending things. So you can go to the like OBS here and be like, hey, show me the recordings, and I'll show you the location of the recordings if you're not sure where things were saved. So then I can go to like a recording here. All right, so for this part, we're gonna talk about, right? I might have actually just, oh, I opened a thing that I was currently recording. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, well, don't do that. Don't open something that you're actively recording. Let's see. Okay, I've realized for the, so like you can get like a little video clip here, and then this is kind of like your viewing window. This is the actual master file section. So this will let you look at like different parts of the video. And so like I'm like able to click through this and kind of watch the image. But then if I open up like a different video, let's say maybe I'm opening up that one. All right, so then I can take the video that I've added and like add it on here. So I can rearrange these things. I can do other things, like I can, by clicking S, I can split this. And then if I click on this and I hit delete, I can get rid of a section. And then let's just undo that with Z. So, or I could just right click it and I could hit remove, and now that's just gone. Or I could, after deleting a clip, I can move things around. I can like insert like all kinds of stuff in here. You can even insert like an image if you wanted. You can also add in different audio tracks. So if you want to have some music playing, or if you want to change something that you said, you could do that. So for example, if I didn't like what I said, this is going to allow you to essentially make part of your image transparent in your camera. So if I didn't like that, what I can do is I can actually split that from the other thing, and then I can detach the audio and just like get rid of that audio. Be like, I don't want that audio. I want something else, right? And so you can then re-record some different audio and put that in. So similarly, you could then get like a different video clip with audio and put that in this folder and then move it over to this section. There's a number of things that you can do by like changing audio how you wanted, editing slightly. There's other cool things that you can do, like text that you can enter in, or other effects that you can enter in. It's pretty much limitless, and there's extensions for Shotcut that let you do even more. I'm just gonna save this as example so I don't lose it. There's also filters that you can put in. One of the ones that I use a fair amount is the text filter. So you can put that in to like type something out, like so you can kind of like type out a message. You can have this kind of fly in a little bit differently. I realized for the GIMP, or you could just have it like stay at a point or something of the video, that I should probably show that. So you can have all kinds of cool effects for the text. You can change color, all kinds of cool little things that you can do. You can fade in video, fade it out. They have all kinds of video effects for like color, brightness, inverting things, flipping. Yeah, like if you want to try and do something to a video, you can do that probably in OBS, essentially. So yeah, I primarily use OBS to make my videos, and then to actually make it, you need to go to export, which you can find here and then there. You can change the frames to make it a little bit of a smaller file, or resolution to make it a smaller file if you wanted. But the default is usually fine. So you can then, if once you've hit export, it will process a little bit. This might take a little while to do. Actually, hold on. For the purpose of this video, let's just get rid of everything and make this file like super small. And so, yeah, go ahead and export that. Whatever, I don't care. And then if you go to your YouTube, so if you're like, hey, I want to upload a video to your YouTube, this isn't actually the one that I use for my YouTube. This is my work one. So let's say you click on your file. That's the file that you got from Shotcut there. So you've got your file. You've got it uploaded. Now here's something that's kind of cool. You can do these things called chapters. So if you give timestamps, you can tell it like, hey, I want you to be doing these 3 different times, having like instructions, or like I'll have this working for this video. So if you're curious about what I mean, I would read the description of this video. But if you do something like this, these should appear underneath the timeline of the video, kind of like chunking it out for you into little chapters, so you can just click and go straight to it. Anything else? Oh, there's also these other things called like video elements. Sure, it's made for kids. So you can add in these things, but I think you have to do it once the video is actually downloaded. But you can link to other videos that you've recorded, so you can add in a card once this thing's fully downloaded. Let's make this private. So let's see, maybe if I go back to this, and I think that there should be like end screen elements. Oh, it must be longer than 25 seconds. So if you go here, you can link to another video. If you've got some instructions that you want to link to at the end of your video, you could do that through the cards section here. And then there's one other thing. Oh yeah, you can add videos to a playlist. So if I wanted to make a playlist like of tutorial videos or for a certain project, I could do that here. And then those videos are permanently tied together and can be found on the channel as a playlist. Or you could just link to the playlist and students just watch through it on YouTube. So there's a number of things that you could do. I think that's just about it though. We've talked about all the stuff with OBS and GIMP and Shotcut and kind of posting with YouTube. So I'll see how you guys what you think of this. Thank you for joining me. This has been Mr. McLaren.